Can we normalize requesting payments from men that waste our time? I understand that you're broke and that you don't value your time, but I do. So, therefore, enjoy your $300 Venmo request. Thank you.
No, we can't. Because you wasted our time with that foolishness talking about, I want a $500 dinner. That's a waste of time. So yes, when it comes to you, I am broke and will continue to stay broke the heck out my face.
Just had a thought. You notice it's only the good guys who have a hard time finding women, usually, in general. Like the men who are horrible, the ones we're always talking about, the assholes, the one who cheat. Like they always have a woman. They'll have side women. They'll have women on top of women. They always have somebody because, women are always complaining about them. But the guys who are, nice, who just wants one woman, someone to go home to, no drama, just working their 9 to 5, they're always like, man, I can't find a good woman. Like, and fair enough, like good women too, like it's always the most horrible people who have somebody. They're never like, man, I'm lonely. No, it's always the good guys. They always finish last. It's kind of true. Why is that?
Somebody said, good guys don't finish last. They stop running the race.
I don't know a single woman that follows random men the way that men follow random women. Any man's following any man's following list, 6,000 girls he's never met before. Why? It actually pisses me off. I don't know a single woman that does that. It's always men, and it's why? Why? You're sick. And that one is never enough. They could have a wife back home. Hey, I'm still on my explore page looking for a baddie. Why? You're pissing me off. You're pissing me off really, really bad. I don't know a single woman that does that. It's always men. Why are you constantly looking? Why are you constantly window shopping? You're sick. The illusion of options is gonna ruin this generation. Like you think, oh, I'm talking to this girl in person, but like I got 500 girls I follow on Instagram. One of them could be the one. They don't want you. Oh, wife back home. They're still holding out that this one Instagram baddie they followed 3 years ago is gonna DM them. Newsflash, not happening. And just constantly thinking that there's something better out there. Like, yeah, I got this girl and she treats me the exact way I would. Like, she's everything I want in a wife and like the mother of my 7,000 children that I want because I'm a man and like I have to have 7,000 children. But no, there's just one Instagram baddie that I've been holding out for years, and she's gonna follow me back one day. That's just what gave you the confidence in that thought.
Well, y'all usually tend to watch y'all stuff on TV, and y'all tend to stalk. Actually, as a matter of fact, a lot of modern women out there talk about this. Well, a woman is the best cheater because she'll never leave her tracks. Men, they cheat so stupidly because they leave tracks. So maybe it might be because they're employing that strategy of not leaving any tracks, but they're still out there doing it. How do we know? How do we know? 11/11 tour meet and greets. Here's another one here. I love this. See if we can skip through a little bit. Behind all out. I love it. I love it. Love it. Gotta cock your knee up. I really do love it. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. His fans had to pay $1,100 for the experience, and it's currently sold out in 36 cities. Photos of Chris Brown with his fans at the meet and greet are going viral. Oh, I love that. Yeah, so just because you're not following a bunch of girls on social media, let me say, it's not right for them to do that. Just because you're not following a bunch of men on social media does not mean you're not out here acting a fool. Do we see this? I mean, 36 cities sold out. 36 cities sold out. He got his hands on them behind. His hands on them behind. That's somebody that's gonna want a man to settle down with them. That's somebody that's gonna want a man to be respectful to them. She don't even know that woman. Giving her a kiss. I want you to kiss me. I guess I'm trying to figure out how y'all can demand anything loyalty-wise or respect-wise when this is how modern women are conducting themselves. I don't know. another woman that's doing this like a man does, a man needs to quit doing that.
Put a finger down if you move to a new city and you downloaded Hinge because you're like, I want to meet people, blah, 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 blah. You have really good banter on Hinge with this one guy. And he's like, let's get off the app. And I'm like, okay. So he asks for my number. He gets my number. We text back and forth. He's like, I would love to take you out to dinner. I would be so lucky, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Made a reservation, all these things. We were supposed to go out Saturday at 8 p.m. And I'm like, perfect. We texted, Friday evening. Everything was fine, normal, whatever. Saturday rolls around and I'm like, I haven't heard from him. Weird. So I texted him at like 4 and I was just like, hey, text doesn't go through. Doesn't deliver. So I go back to my Hinge app and I'm like, oh, he removed me on Hinge. And my text didn't go through. So that means he removed me on Hinge, blocked me on text. And yeah, just in time for our date on Saturday at 8 p.m. Mind you, he's 29, so that's cool. It happened to me.
Is this you? Is this you right here? That's you? This you right here as well? You got your little moving day. Cute, cute. I see it. See, you got your chest out too. Cute. Is this you? Is this you? And again, I ask you, is this you? Is this you right here? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? What? If you have this type of energy online to where you're doing this type of stuff, what can I expect from you when you get in person? Do I think he should have ghosted you? Absolutely not. Maybe you had a conversation and said, hey, listen, I looked at your pictures again, or maybe I found your TikTok and I don't agree. I don't know if I feel comfortable with this. I don't know if I like my woman exposing herself like this. Maybe you should, or whatever it was, he should have said that. You said he was 29, probably because you're trying to kind of say that he shouldn't be acting that way. But, if you're saying that he's 29 and shouldn't be acting that way, maybe you're old enough not to be acting this way too. What do you think?
Well, I thank you for that, for explaining what you meant. I feel like that is the most disgusting statement. It's a disgusting statement for an older man to make. We just spoke about the fact that at that age, they're still young. They're still figuring themselves out. They don't really know the world. They're learning. So for an older man to tell an older woman like, well, there's women that turn 21 every day. That's a kid. She's still finding herself. So because this woman is maybe not moldable, teachable in whichever way that gentleman wants her to be, I'm gonna go get this 21-year-old who is basically still a baby. 21-year-olds still live at home with their parents. They're still learning life. They may have just got their first job. They're in college. I'm gonna go get a 21-year-old because she's moldable. She's controllable. That's what makes it disgusting. For me, what makes it disgusting, I'm a mother. And I'm a mother. I have a daughter. I don't know. That's nasty.
And please understand, I get where you're coming from. I get from a maturity perspective, they still have a ways to go in terms of maturing. But uncomfortable truth says a 21-year-old who can gamble, buy alcohol, buy tobacco, and be charged with an adult felony, she calls a baby. The state's going to charge them as an adult. They're going to try them as an adult. That's it. I understand what you're saying from a maturity standpoint. But these women are not babies. They're not baby. Well, to me, that's a baby. I get what you're saying. If like a dude was like 50 years old, he's, hey man, you a baby to me. I get what you're saying, but the woman she's grown. The man's not a predator. She's grown. At 21, there are plenty of women out here saying, no, I don't want to do it. At 21, there are plenty of women out here jumping on OF, taking the same age range of men, taking their money, then getting out here and saying, I'm living the life that I want to live and I know exactly what I'm doing. I have autonomy over my body. That's the ones that you're calling a baby. They've turned their body into a business, taking the money from the men that you're calling predators. But they don't know what they're doing. This hasn't developed it. That hasn't developed it. There's this problem and there's that problem. And basically, what I'm trying to get at is you continue to say that they're the victim, but They're not the victim when they're getting that money and they're popping off and they're a bottle girl and they're shaking their behind in the club. They're not a victim then. They're not a baby then. When they hop into these clubs, these where men throw singles and stuff like that, they're not a baby then. It's you're a boss babe at a young age, and I want you to get that money, generational wealth, health is wealth, or whatever that is, and go build a brand. Do this. I got to do it for my child. I'm a single mom. I got to hustle. They're not a baby then. But when you think that they're getting taken advantage of, all of a sudden they're a victim and they're a baby.
Genuine question. On your boyfriend's birthday, are you paying for dinner? Are you paying for the bill? Or is he not allowing you to pay for the bill? Because I wanted to take him out for his birthday and pay the bill, and he's refusing, saying it's embarrassing. I brought my money and everything.
There's a woman in the comments that said, my ex did the same thing. I miss that man.
Okay, so to start this off, I just want to say that he treated me so well, like literally no hate to him at all. But yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so basically in the start of our relationship, like I got with him knowing that he had never had a girlfriend before. So I didn't really expect him to like know how to like be a gentleman or anything like that. But once I started dating him, like I noticed like damn, like he's been raised right. Like he opened all my doors, he bought me flowers. He always told me I was so pretty, like which is all like bare minimum things, but like obviously like
Bare minimum things. He treated me right. Did what he was supposed to do. Bare minimum. But keep going.
in this generation that's a little bit harder to find. Also, keep in mind he's a senior in high school and has never even held a girl's hand. So throughout our relationship, we never like really fought. We only did it for like literally 3 months, so it wasn't like a long relationship. But in the time we did date, the only thing we would ever argue over was like priorities. And like looking back on it, I should have like saw how crazy I was acting, because I would get mad at him for like playing Fortnite, which obviously like that's something a lot of guys do. But like he would like play Fortnite and not respond to me. I would just, like get upset with him, and I was just like, you like don't have priorities straight. Like you're always playing Fortnite. Like I want to talk to you, and I guess I just didn't understand like why he'd rather play a video game than talk to me. So there was this one night when there was a Texans game, because he also loves sports so much. Like when he grows up, he wants to be in sports broadcasting. Like that's how much he loves sports. And there was a Texans game on TV, and I was like, hey, like we're hanging out. Like I told him like we're hanging out, which oopsies. So he was like, oh no, we're not, because I have to watch this football game. And I was like, bro, like what? Like you can watch it later. And he was like, no, like there's no physical way for me to like not know the score without watching it. Like I have to watch this game. So I was like, okay, I'm mad at you. Like I just got mad. And he was like, you can come over and watch the game with me if you want. And my stupid butt was like, no, I'm mad at you. Like why would you pick a video, or not a video game, why would you pick a football game over me? Like that's so messed up. Like why would you do that? Basically just going off on him for wanting to watch football. So basically he ends up watching the football game. I was being petty to him, but like then he apologized. He like sent me a paragraph apologizing. I was like, okay, you're good. And that was probably the biggest argument we had in our relationship. We like literally never fought. And things like went really downhill after that day, because I honestly don't remember why this happened, but I think it was that night he went to bed while I was crying because I was upset about something. I think it was about the football stuff. And I told him, I was like, why would you let your girlfriend like cry herself to sleep? Like, does that make you feel okay? Like, how does that not hurt you? And then where I really messed up is because I have an ex-boyfriend who's cheated on me 6 times, and he was literally chronically insane. And I told my boyfriend at the time, like the boyfriend I'm talking about, I was like, you're acting like my ex. Why would you let me go to bed, sleep, or go to bed crying? That's what he did. So essentially, my boyfriend wakes up from his sleep and he sees all these chats on Snapchat of me like literally just bashing him and being like, why would you do this? You're so mean. This hurts my feelings. Like nothing like directly towards him, calling him a bad person, but like, you know, like things that would make you feel bad. So he actually leaves me unopened, which makes me tweak out even more. And I was just so confused. I was like, why is he leaving me unopened? Like, why is he trying to hurt my feelings even more? Which obviously in the time I was not thinking about the fact that I just compared him to my ex-boyfriend who was insane. So it's the next day and I'm talking to him and I'm just like, hey, like what's going on? Why was I unopened? And he basically just tells me, he's like, because like what you said to me is so effed up. Like that's so messed up, Grace. Like I treat you so well. I do all this stuff for you, and for you to compare me to your ex-boyfriend who literally like was so bad to you, that's just so rude, Grace. So I was just kind of sitting there and I was just kind of like, oh shoot, like he's right. So basically that night we go and we try to compromise and we get on a FaceTime call. We didn't do this in person because he was grounded. And we're just talking about like how we're going to move forward in our relationship and how I'm not going to get mad at him for playing Fortnite. I'm not going to get mad at him for watching football because those are things he does to enjoy himself and I should not be mad at him for that. And I guess since I was like in a toxic relationship before him, I kind of just like, I don't know what I was doing. I was just acting really rude. So essentially, I just apologized for the way I was acting, and I told him moving forward, like, we weren't gonna get upset with each other over small things like that because we did make each other happy, and that was stupid. So we say goodnight, I love you, and the next day happens, and this is where. Alright, so it's the next day at school, and oh, okay, wait, actually, the night before, he had to go to bed at 10 o'clock because he said his mom was, like, mad at him and she wants him to go to bed early, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but okay. And then he starts texting around 10:30, and he's like, I'm puking, like, I feel really sick, and I was like, oh. So it's the next day at school, and he's acting very off. Like, okay, so I see him in the hallways, and the first thing I do is I'm like, hi. And he looks at me, and he's just like, hey. And I was like, what? And my friend looks at me, and she's like, hey, are you guys okay? And I was like, yeah, I thought so. So I don't really worry about it. I don't think much of it. I'm just like, maybe he still feels sick. So I see him in the hallway the next period, and I'm just like, hey, are you feeling okay? Like, are you still sick? Sorry, I had to change really quickly, but basically, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Basically, that day, at the end of my dance practice, he texted me this long paragraph saying how we have to break up because I'm controlling. So I start freaking out, and I was like, oh my god, no, we're talking about this in person. You're not breaking up with me. We're so happy together. This is stupid. We can fix this. And he's like, no, we can't fix this. I've talked to my friends about it. I've talked to my parents about it. So I was just like, oh shit, I'm cooked. So basically, we go to McDonald's that night because that's where he wanted to meet up. So I was just like, hey, can we like not go in because I'm bawling my eyes out and I don't want to like be seen bawling my eyes out. Thanks. And he was like, no, we're going in. And he was like, I'm not picking you up. We're going in. You're driving yourself. So I get my friend to drive me because I chronically cannot drive myself to McDonald's. Basically, we sit in McDonald's. I'm holding his hand. I'm like, please, like, don't do this. Like, we're so happy. Please don't leave me. I'm like this, holding his hand. And he's just like, no, I'm not happy. I don't want to be with you. And I was like, do you still love me? And he looks at me and he goes, I love you as a person. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? And that's like where I knew I like lost him. But yeah, that's basically everything that happened. And I'm currently still in the era where I think he's coming back, but like deep down I know he isn't.
Well, it happened like it should have. He doesn't really need to come back based on what you were doing. The man, I think she said something like he was trying to be a sports broadcaster or something like that. And you were mad at him for trying to do his job. This is what happens with modern women in real life. They want all the attention on them. She said, and I thought that was going to be a problem, that him being nice and him being respectful and a gentleman is the bare minimum. That shows that from the outset, everything is about you. You don't really value him. That shows that you've been watching or listening to some of these TikToks out there, and that's what got you where it got you. This is the type of stuff that modern women say. You're acting just like my ex. And they say stuff like that and expect you to be okay with it. We're so happy. We're doing so good. How? Who is? You? Because you get to say weird stuff and you want me to forgive you for that? Who does that? Who does that? Women like this. Modern women like this. Oh man, I hate that for you. But let this be a lesson. It was weird because they had women in the comments talking about you're so mature for the way you handled it. For the way you handle it? What? The way she handled it was, well, I know I messed up. So, yeah. I'm going to get what's coming to me. That's the way she handled it. At that point in time, the writing's on the wall. Period. So you're ready for it. She didn't handle it great at all. Not at all. She was crying. She was still trying to gaslight him and tell him that he needs to turn. And then she just said, I'm still in my era where I think he's coming back. How? Why? Why would he do that?